Surprisingly, it's almost 10 a.m., although this light totally looks like 7:30. As we already know, and have now further proven, this is one of those countries that gets very little light in the winter. So we have that to look forward to. But, in any case, had breakfast. I forgot that the hostel has complimentary breakfast, and usually that means like toast and cornflakes and like watery tea. But this place had like a full bar, like a cold bar with meats and cheeses and tomatoes and cucumbers and different kinds of sauces and yogurts and jams, and they also had like baked beans and eggs and sausage and like toast and everything. So like full on breakfast. I didn't get a clip because I left my camera in my room because I forgot it was in my pocket, my coat pocket, but see if I can snag some tomorrow. In any case, I am now out and about, hopefully gonna try to catch a walking tour, a free walking tour, but I'm not at all certain that it's actually happening today because it's the day after Christmas, and it's entirely possible that the company decided not to do anything, but I'm gonna try my luck, and if we end up not having a tour today, then I will just walk around a little bit, because I'm a damn adult, and I can do what I want. Alright, I found the walking tour. I'm going to try to do a quick catch-up. That's the Opera House. It's designed to look like an iceberg. The bay is frozen. That metal thing there is a sculpture of an iceberg, and when the bay isn't frozen, the wind can move it around anywhere in the bay. Also, there's a building, I think there is the headquarters of the Future Munch exhibition. Apparently he painted 20,000 pieces over the course of his life. That sounds like a lot. It is a lot. And, oh, I lost my tour. Hang on. Yeah. You know it's the national dessert when they put the flag of the country in it. But it's cake and meringue and cream and starfruit, which I think is this cafe's little twist. Okay, whoops, it's like several hours later. What's the last thing I recorded? Somewhere on the tour. I finished up the tour, had a, like, coffee/cake thing with a couple of other people on the tour, which, it was this cake that's like the sponge cake with, like, nuts and meringue on top, and then like whipped cream. It was delicious. There was a lot of it though. They gave us like 2 slices of cake per person, generous portions. And then I went back to the hostel and worked a little bit because I needed to catch up on some translation. And then I fell asleep because I'm on vacation and I can do that. But now it's like 7:30ish and I'm heading out again. I want to go walk down by the harbor a little bit because apparently it's all lit up for Christmas and it looks beautiful at night. Incidentally, I'm really close to that street that I was on last night, so turns out the center of Oslo is not that big. Actually, the reason I'm stopping here is the thing behind me here is a monument. It's a glove. It's a statue of a glove, and I wish I'd gotten a picture of it or a clip of it earlier. I'm standing in the middle of the street to show this, so I'm gonna step away. Basically, it was when the the tour guide talked about it, but there were a few interesting things that she said that I didn't catch on camera because she said them so quickly that I didn't, or she transitioned into them so quickly that I didn't have time to get my camera out. So I was making notes on my phone. What'd she say? With the glove, it was the Danish king who invaded or took over. No, there was a Danish king who came into Oslo just after, getting out of the street, just after there were a bunch of fires that burnt down a big portion of the city, and so they were really weak, and so then this Danish king comes in and kind of conquers, and he decides where to put the capital, or the center of the city, by like kind of throwing his glove to the ground and saying, like, I want it to be built here. So that's where the glove landed, apparently. Other interesting things from the story. I made a list. There are 3 kinds of traditional house colors in Norway. There is the red houses. I think they're painted red for the kind of poorer people in society, because red was the cheapest color to maintain. And then for the middle class there was yellow. And then for the really rich people there was white, because white had to be repainted every year and there was zinc involved and it was expensive. Military service in Norway is compulsory, quote unquote. You're supposed to do it, but if you don't want to, they're pretty lenient about saying, like, okay, you don't have to. And I thought that was funny, because, like, in general, they're just a little bit like, if you don't want to, you don't really have to. And then finally, Quizling. In the World War II era, there's a fortress that we went to, and there was kind of the story involved with it. There was, a German U-boat that tried to invade the area, and the military, navy, I guess, mobilized pretty quickly, shot down the boat. The royal family fled, and even though the royal family is purely like an honorific title, they don't have any actual power, this is still the time for this guy named Quisling to essentially declare himself prime minister, and he occupied the parliament building and started to make decisions, and as it turns out, he was a fascist, so he pretty much opened the doors to the Nazis, and they all came in, and it was a peaceful occupation, as in there weren't a lot of battles in order to gain ground, but a lot of Jewish people were deported, a lot of naysayers and political rivals were tortured and assassinated and brought to concentration camps, and just horrible, horrible things. So apparently the Norwegian people will say that if you ask them if they felt invaded, they'll say they never felt invaded by the Germans, they feel betrayed by their countrymen, Quisling. So apparently that is why Quisling is a synonym for a traitor or a bad person. And the tour guide said that, and everybody's jaws kind of went, oh, okay. So, etymology facts for you. My hands are cold. Hey, I put on a hat. I'm at a point in the harbor where, to keep going around, I had to take a pretty sharp turn. And in the daylight, I would totally do that, but it's dark, and you can't really see the water, so kind of what's the point? But there's the city from across a little bit of the harbor. I'm trying to think what that building is. I think it's the fortress where Quisling betrayed people. And then all of the harbor boat owners have strung them up with pretty Christmas lights. Basically. Oh, light. I'm hungry. I'm gonna see if I can find something cheap to eat. It's so expensive here. Oh my god, it's so expensive here. Oh look, Christmas lights on December 26th. Go figure.